Okay.
All right, Murph, welcome back. So let's see, in your first session, we talked about the problem that you're having with your sister, as far as you guys share a room, and you have been sharing a room for the past 9 years. You are now in high school, and she's not there yet. Problems that you're having were with her cleanliness within the room. You find yourself very organized, and you take care of your things. You like to keep everything clean. And the problems you're having is your sister is the exact opposite. Everything is unkempt. Her bed's always messy. Her clothes are all over the place. And when you try to talk to her about it, she yells at you, and she never agrees, and this starts problems and arguments between your sisterly relationship. And then within the room, you have been getting frustrated lately because she's been taking your things without asking, and she's been ruining them, whether it's a shirt, a bag, a pair of shoes, and it hurts your feelings, and she doesn't seem to show any remorse. She just doesn't care about things. She plays by her own set of rules, and it's frustrating for you because you're just trying to help her, and she just sees it as you're nagging her. You don't seem to be getting much help from your parents, because they see it kind of how she sees it, as you're nagging because you're always trying to get her to clean things up, so your room is presentable, and you value your pride in your presentation of your room and your chores, because we always have people in and out of the house with the business that we run out of the batting cages. So you want everything to look clean and seem organized, because people, whether they're using the bathroom or just passing through, they happen to see your room sometimes. And like we said, you take a sense of pride in the things that you do and the chores that you're asked to do throughout the house. And your sister seems to lie about it, lie about her chores, or do them halfway, and it kind of ticks you off a little bit because you always do them full all the way through, and she makes up excuses which tend to get on your nerves. So you're a bit annoyed with how she's acting, and you want to kind of get to the bottom of it. So about sum up how we went through our first session.
Yeah, the problem is the whole messy situation and how she's messy.
Tell me about it.
And how I always have to clean up her mess. And it does tick me off sometimes because, after a while it builds up and builds up. And yeah, with my parents, they don't really help out in my case, because they find it as I'm nagging, like you said. And then yeah, the excuses, of course, she has the excuses on why she doesn't want to clean up some things, but that's pretty much it.
All right, so let's see if we can narrow down a little bit of our problems that are really getting to the core. The messiness in the room. You would like her to clean up a little bit more, to kind of pull her weight. The arguing that you guys are constantly involved in kind of results from that. Whether it stems from that or from something else, the arguing is really something that you kind of want to get out of, and make it a little easier with your relationship. And then you stated that she takes your things without asking and either ruins them or loses them, and that kind of bothers you too, because you take pride in the things that you own and the things that you buy, and you want her to do the same thing. Right? All right. So out of those problems that we kind of discovered, talk to me. Tell me what you might think is the biggest problem, the most crucial problem for you, with everything that's going on.
I think the fighting, like the arguing and stuff, because that kind of like makes the whole situation worse, because then like the next day it will carry on and we'll have an attitude right from the beginning of the day, whether it's on breakfast or whatever. It would just be fighting, because just from the day before. So it kind of like builds up and builds up until my mom tells us to just both knock it off.
Okay.
So that would be the biggest problem out of the three.
All right. So you feel exhausted from all the arguing and bickering back and forth, because it it starts in the beginning of the day and it carries out throughout the day. And when you get home from school, it's still there. So if you want to kind of eliminate the arguing.
Yeah, because that makes the whole situation way worse. Because, like, she is messy and she fights me as nagging, but the fighting doesn't help it at all. Just makes everything worse and, like, louder. And then we both get, like, aggravated with each other. And then that makes our relationship worse. So, like, we're not going to have, like, a sisterly bond when we're fighting,
Alright, so you value your relationship and your sisterly bond with her, and you think that you feel the arguing is kind of hurting that or ruining that.
Yeah.
Alright, so we want to get to the root of the arguments, and we want to kind of figure out a way to either erase the arguments or to prevent them altogether. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we agree that your biggest problem is the arguing. Alright, now how about, talk to me about where that arguing stems from.
I guess just like with the little things, like just with her in the morning, when we go to bed, she gets her outfit out, and I think like this is how it all begins from the next day at night. She takes out her outfit for the next day, and I'm fine with her like picking it out, but she like leaves a mess with all the stuff that she's not wearing, and she just throws it on the floor or she'll throw it on the dresser. And then I'll ask her to put it back, and she'll say, no, I'm wearing that tomorrow. But like I know the thing that she's wearing isn't the junk on the dresser. I know it's the thing on the hanger hooked on her drawer. And I guess that gets us fighting in the beginning, and then carries on to the next day.
Okay, so maybe you think that it's our focal problem might not be on the exact arguing. Do you think it might be on where we started with the cleanliness? And the picking up after herself and keeping organized like you like to?
Yeah, that might actually be. Yeah, that might be the real problem instead of just arguing, because the messiness causes the arguing.
Right.
Without the messiness, we wouldn't have the arguing.
Right, so it all goes back to the very beginning, where they're just picking up your clothes, putting them away, making the bed. I think that might get rid of a lot of the problem?
Yeah, that would really make it better.
I see. You think that might be our focal problem there, our most crucial problem?
Yeah, because that makes more sense.
Right, so let's kind of talk about that problem from where it stems from, because that seems to be the root of the argument, and then going into where she takes your things, I think and loses them from her messiness or what have you. So I think that you guys are kind of butting heads when it comes to keeping the room clean and presentable and organized. Right?
Yeah, it is. Because we both think two different things. She thinks her way is fine and neat according to her, and my way I think it's like neat to me and better my way.
Okay.
And so I guess it's just difficult because like we have two different opinions, and I get like where she's coming from because she's young, she doesn't really care. But I mean, it's just like I just wish she could like have a mind of mine for a little bit and see,
Right.
see what I'm trying to show her. Because like I said before, it will help her later.
Okay, so you're still hanging on to that. You see it as you're trying to help her.
Yeah.
Because like you said, you're a little bit older, you're in high school, and you kind of see how being organized helps you with schoolwork and after-school activities. And she's younger, she's only in 6th grade, and she doesn't really understand that yet.
Concept,
and she doesn't really care to hear that. She just kind of wants to do her own thing and doesn't really care for any of your things or care about her chores or responsibilities.
Exactly.
Alright, so you feel, again, you take a sense of pride in the things that you do and your organization, and you really value your relationship with your sister, and the arguing, which stems from her messiness, really takes a toll on your relationship.
Yeah, because even my mom says it, like, because she had a sister, but her parents were divorced and whatnot, and so they weren't close. And like every time she sees us arguing, she always like, it's like, when is this gonna end and stuff like that, because she wishes we were closer because she didn't really have that opportunity.
Okay.
So she kind of wants to make us closer because that's just the way and I see where she's coming from. Having a sisterly bond is good, but it's kind of hard when you have like two different personalities.
Alright, okay, so maybe that's why you're not getting all the help you might think of from your parents, because your mom didn't have a close relationship with her sister, but she wants to see you and your sister have a close relationship. She's not really sure how to help you to get there. So that's what we're going to do now. So tell me, have we tried anything? Talk to me about the things that maybe we tried as far as, organization and talking to your sister. Was there anything that you tried that you guys have agreed on, or?
Like during the summer, it was easier because we didn't have school. But we've tried like cubbies and stuff like that. We've had like little things under our bed that we would put like our clothes in or whatever, or shoes. And we've tried like a shoe hanger, like to put your shoes in those things, because that was another thing. Her shoes would end up everywhere.
Okay.
And we have 2 different hampers. So like my clothes go in mine and her clothes go in hers, so she learns how to do the wash, because I was doing it all by myself.
Right.
So she learned that, and we tried trying to get her to like make her bed every day. I mean, she doesn't really have time now because of school, but sometimes after school when she'll come back and then she'll make her bed. But I've tried like talking to my parents too sometimes, and sometimes they make her do it. If it's like a little thing, and they know that I've been asking for her to do it. But like if it's like put the whole basket of clothes away, then that's not something like they'll make her do. They'll be like, we have to help her too. But yeah, other than that, that's really what we've tried.
Alright, so you guys have tried a little bit of organizational things as far as where to put things, and divvying up the laundry duties, because you said in our first session that you got stuck doing all the laundry for both of you and putting everything away for both of you, or else her stuff would get thrown all over the room and things would get lost and ruined. But aside from the cubby holes and the organizational methods that you guys have tried, there's really been nothing else. How's that been working for you?
Like the cubbies?
Yeah.
We do because we have we have kind of like knickknacks, like the little cute things like at shops or whatever. And we both have our own cubby for our little knickknacks and like stuff that if like a pack of gum, we just throw it in our cubbies. So I have one by my bed and there's one by her bed. And then we have one more for each other. And then that's where we put like our books or whatever, or like our books from like the year before, or the folders from the year before with our old work. We tried doing that, and I mean it's good, but she kind of overuses it, like takes advantage of it, because like she'll just throw everything in there.
Right.
So like it's hard to even pull out, because she's like, oh, this is a knick-knack, oh, this is finished really just,
right.
She needs to clean it out, you know? But the things under the beds, they're working pretty good because it's easier, and it's easier because she finds it easier too to pull out her shoes and just grab them, so she likes that, which is good. But yeah, it does help with her shoes not being all over the place.
Alright, so a couple of things are working. Your organizational cubby holes are working a little bit better for you, whereas she's kind of taking advantage of it and turning her little drawer into a junk drawer and just throwing everything in there.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, what do you think we could try? Because it sounds like those couple of things are working for a little while, but you guys are still arguing, and you're still going at it with as far as the cleanliness of the room with the clothes and the chores of cleaning your room and the house. What do you think is something that might be a little baby step in the right direction of kind of helping your relationship?
Well, I guess we could have like a chart, a chart, and it says like our name and what we have to do that day. So like, because I bet she gets tired of having to do the same thing every day. Mm-hmm. So like, one day I can make both beds and then she could do the laundry, or I vacuum and she cleans out like my dog's cage in the room, or just something like that. And then if we do what we have to do each and every day, we get like a reward or something, ice cream or something like that, something simple, or like $1 or something like that. But we could also trying to think, we could do like check-ins, like my parents check in on what, like after school every day, what we've done in our room. Okay. They check it in and they see if we did what was needed.
Alright. Now talk to me a little bit more about your organizational chart that you think might be helpful. Go into a little bit more detail.
Well, to make it fun, we could design it ourselves
Okay.
and like make it pretty and stuff. And then we could have it on our door, like thumbtacked or taped on our door. And my parents can see it when they walk by. So like they say, all right, well, Marin's done this, this, and this, Donnie's done this, so that they know. We could have like, I think instead of like ice cream or something, my sister would probably value like $1 or a couple dollars more than ice cream.
So I think that's a good way to kind of start things. You said, you know, your sister's kind of in the juvenile stage, so you guys can decorate the chart together, like you said, and that can kind of help out a little bit. You said you'd post it on your door. That way you can see, your mom can see it, and she can see that things are kind of working out if the chart works. So you think this is something that you might be able to try with your sister over the next couple of weeks? See if you guys can make the chart and kind of stick to it.
Yeah, I think she'll like it. I think she'll actually want to clean up after using it.
That's a good idea. It's good. So now we have something set in place, and before our next session, maybe we give this a try, and hopefully, you know, this is a good step to kind of reducing your arguing, or hopefully preventing it altogether. So let's see what we went over here. So we started by talking about last session, about your problems with your sister's organization, and your constant arguing, and her taking your things. And we kind of also talked about that you started to feel like it was very annoying, and you were very frustrated with how things were going with your relationship with your sister, through you know, all the bickering. And we also said that, you know, you said your mom didn't really, she wants you to get along, but she didn't really know how to help you guys mend your relationship, and your arguing. What else did we go over here? We also talked about the different ways we can kind of solve the problem that you're having, and you stated that the biggest problem that you thought you were having was the arguing. But after we discussed a little bit, we kind of realized that the arguing stemmed from just the messiness and her lack of organization and losing things, and we want to try and work on keeping your room clean and organized. That way you guys don't argue as much, because you said the biggest thing through all of this is you value your relationship with your sister. You don't want to argue, and you don't want to fight. You want to get along, and you want to have that good sisterly bond that you said you really want to get to.
Yeah.
Right? And then we talked, you kind of came up with a very good idea with your organizational chart of sharing chores with cleaning the room.
Yeah.
And you guys can create it together. You guys can hang it on your door, that way your mom can see your progress, and hopefully this leads to less arguing and a better relationship between you and your sister.
Yep.
All right? All right, good job.